Hey y'all, in this lesson we're going to take a look at solving inequalities using addition and subtraction. So we want to be able to solve inequalities using addition or subtraction. A key point we want to make is that solving inequalities with addition and subtraction is the same as solving equations with addition and subtraction. Here is our essential question for you to write down in your notes. Please pause the video now and write this into your notes. How is solving inequalities with addition and subtraction similar to and different from solving equations with addition and subtraction? Let's take a look. In our first example, we have a side-by-side showing an equation and an inequality. They are exactly the same except for the equation has an equal sign and the inequality uses greater than or equal to as its symbol. In both instances, when we go to solve this, we want to make sure we are doing things on both sides of our symbol. So it is often helpful to draw a line down the middle of the symbol. Then we're going to identify what is happening to the variable so that we can undo it. In this case, x is being subtracted by 2, and the opposite of subtract 2 is to add 2. So we are going to add 2 to each side. When we add 2, on the left side, we end up with just x, and on each of these, when we add 2 on the right side, we get 3. So in the equation, we have x is equal to 3, and in the inequality, we have x is greater than or equal to 3. So they are the exact same. The only thing that is different here is the symbol. The inequality is replacing the equal sign. These problems also ask us to graph the solution. We can graph an equation by putting a point at the solution, and we can graph an inequality by using a line. In this case, we have a point at 3 because of that or equal to, or the line underneath the greater than symbol. And then we want to indicate numbers greater than x, so our arrow moves to the right. In our next example, we're going to take a look at solving equations with subtraction versus inequalities. Again, you can see we have the same setup. The only difference is our equal sign and our less than sign. Again, we want to make sure we're doing things on both sides of that symbol, so drawing a line is helpful. In this case, x is adding 3, so the opposite is subtract 3. So we will subtract 3 on each side. That will leave us with x equals 4 or x is less than 4 in the inequality. So you can see again, we are still using the exact same method. The only thing that is different is the symbol that is being used, equal or a inequality symbol. Again, we can graph this. We graph our equation as a point at 4 on the number line because again, that is the only solution. For the inequality, we have an open circle at 4 because x cannot be 4, it has to be less than 4, but it could be 3.99999 into infinity. And so the way that we show that it can go all the way up to 4 but not be 4 is that open circle. Then our arrow is going to indicate numbers that are less than 4, and so we draw that to the left, as you can see in this graph. So now I want you to try these 4 problems, solve and graph the following. Pause the video, quickly try these 4 problems, and press play when you're ready to see the answer. For the first one, we get x is less than 1. We're going to have that as an open circle at 1 on a number line with an arrow pointing to the left. For the second one, we get x is less than or equal to 6. So on a number line, we'll have a closed circle at 6 and an arrow pointing to the left. For the third problem, we get x is greater than 12. So we have an open circle at 12 on a number line and an arrow pointing to the right. And in the last problem, we get x is greater than or equal to 3. So we have a closed circle at 3 on a number line and an arrow pointing to the right. To summarize this lesson, solve any inequality by using the same process as when solving an equation. We're using opposite operations. The inequality symbol takes the place of the equal sign. So remember I said the process is the same and then the symbol is different. So the inequality symbol takes the place of the equal sign. On this page you can just see a couple examples showing you how it would look if we had decimals or mixed fractions, but it is still the same process. Your next steps are to submit your 4.1 notes to Schoology, complete your 4.1 practice on Schoology, and then take your 4.1 mastery check. Good luck, and I'll see you in the next lesson.